It was never going to be easy, but negotiating peace in Tasmania's forests is proving harder than anyone ever thought. The agreement thrashed out between the Prime Minister and Premier on the weekend doesn't have the support of the Greens. Lara Giddings has warned that without that support, the historic deal will collapse.
Less than 24 hours after the forest peace deal was signed, the protests have escalated. Police had to remove anti-logging campaigners who scaled federal parliament.
We feel that this deal could have potentially brought peace to our forests. However, the deal falls far short of that outcome.
This agreement provides us with the best chance for peace, and it will come down to the leadership of those within the environmental movement to make that happen.
Frankly, I think what is more likely is that we'll see an escalation of campaign activities.
The Greens and environmental groups which aren't part of the forestry talks have dismissed any chance of peace until 572,000 hectares of native forest is protected. That's 140,000 hectares more than currently proposed.
The forest agreement can be fixed.
I find it amazing that Bob Brown believes that you can only have a situation where what he says is the only way to go.
But the Greens' support for the deal is crucial. Regulatory changes to halve the sawlog quota will require parliamentary approval.
We want to see a meaningful and rapid transition out of native forest logging in Tasmania, and we believe that a minimum legislated sawlog amount compromises that.
Others have got their views. Senator Brown's got his view. Mr Mckim may have his view, but we will implement the heads of agreement that was signed yesterday.
Legislation will also have to be passed to formally protect reserved areas of forest.
We'll see what happens on the floor of the House as to whether or not the Greens end up voting down trees going into national parks.
I certainly do not give commitment to Lara Giddings and her government that have presided over this poor policy and this appalling process to support it in Parliament.
But the lower house could be the least of the Premier's worries. The necessary changes could be blocked if they make it to the upper house.
In fact, I think this agreement has lessened the chances of the reserve agenda passing, particularly through the Legislative Council.
There is such goodwill. What we don't need is our political leaders now to undermine that will and see what has been a positive process come crashing down.
The Premier has a fortnight to ensure that doesn't happen. Brad Markham, ABC News.